Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Bus saying here, and it's Deck Tech time. Apologies for not really putting out any videos recently. Just summer just went by, but I'm back now. I got a few ideas in my mind, so let's get cracking. We are yet again looking at Marvel versus System, the old versus System, not the new one. The new one is something I haven't really dwelled into yet. I might do, I might not. I got a huge collection of the old versus System, so I'm still sort of like playing around with the cards, looking at them. Now, this deck will probably be familiar to some of the old school players. This is a Golden Age deck, so it only has cards in it from. Most of the cards in it actually are from Marvel Knights, funny enough. There is a card in here from DC Origins as well, which I'm going to get to later. But the basic idea is Marvel Knights, Underworld, and you bring out Midnight Suns. You give them Brotherhood affiliation, and then you keep powering up, and you got Mephisto in here. So all the powered up characters you discard, he can basically eat and +1 himself on it. And he can also +1 himself off your opponent's graveyard, which makes him just even that little bit more efficient. Um, so yeah, let's get going. My favorite art in here is Dagger. I think is a brilliant looking artwork what we have here, and it is basically one of the main engines of the deck. She lets you search out Midnight Suns, which basically allows you to give the Brotherhood affiliation after you've given the Underworld and Marvel Knights affiliation to your team members, and then keep pumping them. So this is the 1 drop slot, and then for 2 drop slots we got 3 Steel Wind. She's basically good defense for a turn 2 card. Not much to say about her really. You can activate her and put the top card of your deck into your graveyard, which isn't much, but it might be a character, it might be useful for when you want to pump up Mephisto. Then we got 3 Werewolf by Night. Pretty good card. It gets +1/+1 if you got the initiative. And if you don't, then again, you put the top card of your deck into your graveyard, which again is just fueling, your Mephisto eventually. And then I got 2 Shatras here. I'm sort of testing this slot here. I was thinking to have maybe 2 Marvel Knights characters here just to be able to give me that early flip on Midnight Suns, but at the moment it kind of works because it lets you draw for a card. If she gets into the KO pile, then you discard 2 cards. So that she can be useful, and she's a concealed character anyway, so there's a good chance that she will stay alive. Then we got 2 Daredevils, a pretty decent Marvel Knights card for its age. You can pay 2 endurance to +2 attack him. Pretty decent card. And then sort of like the draw engine, the extra draw engine of the deck is 4 copies of Brother Voodoo. Basically, what Brother Voodoo does is that second ability that he's got, if you have an Underworld character, then you can activate, discard a card, discard any cards you want, and draw that many cards. So it allows you to put more characters into your graveyard and draw cards as well. Hopefully, potentially cards that you want actually. Then we got on the 4 drop slots, we got 2 Moon Knights. Again, this is a really flexible card. If you have uh, the initiative, he gets +3/+1, which on its own is already really good, but you can also play him with boost 2, and then he gets +4 attack if you control the initiative, and if you don't, he gets +6 attack. So really flexible card. You don't have to play him on turn 4, you can play him on turn 6, which is pretty good. And now one of the meaty cards of the deck is Centurious, because basically once um, you have Midnight Suns on the battlefield, you can sort of basically pump anybody up if you have a card with cost 2 or less, a character, um, and he's basically one of the beefiest sets. Like, he allows you to really pump your characters up. So Centurious is a must for. And then there is getting on to turn 5 cards. We have 1 copy of Blade the Daywalker. It's a foil card, I don't know if you can see it, pretty nice. He's just an all-around good card. I would he's not necessary for the deck to run, but again, he's flexible. He's got loyalty underworld anyway, so it fits into the deck very well, even though him being Marvel Knights. And then he gives +2 attack to attacking and +2 defense to defending MK on the world creatures. You can also play him with boost 1, so on the 6th turn, where he gets +2/+2 counters, 2+1/+1 counters basically. And the Firestarter, Mephisto, 4 copies. I already obviously talked about him. Back in the days, he was a really good card in this deck. Obviously, it still works very well to the day if you run, if you run like a Golden Age competition or whatever, something like that. So all these characters that are in the KO pile, if you can reveal an underworld character from your hand, you can use his ability, which allows him to basically eat all the creatures in the graveyard and get +1 attack for him. So you can pretty much just OP your opponent when you get to that point. Getting into turn 6, which is you probably won't get in many games if you play this deck right. 2 Black Hearts. He's very strong on his own. He can't be stunned by a character of a cost of 4 or less. Pretty decent card, it's worth running them. Then we got to Luke Cage, again, just another powerhouse. He gets all the team affiliations anyway. He comes out as a 14/12, so yeah, good place in the deck. And then turn 7s, we got 1 Doctor Strange. He allows you to move your characters into the concealed zone, or if you play him on turn 8 with boost 1, you can move all your opponent's cards into the concealed area, and basically just allows you to hit straight into the face of your opponent. Then we got 2 Varnays. Again, really good turn 7 creature. You can activate him, and basically he gives out -50 in defense to an attacker, and he cannot be stunned. So again, really powerful. But hopefully, if you play the deck right, you're not gonna get to turn 7. If you do, you got some really beefy cards here. Now, the tricky part is obviously playing your Midnight Suns, which I'm actually gonna get to here. I'm gonna get to the locations in the end. So you got 4 Midnight Suns. In your starting hand, you either want to have at least 1 of these or at least 1 dagger, so you can search for one. But ultimately, throughout the game, as early as possible, you want to get 2 of these. So you're going to use 1 to make the team affiliation between Marvel Knights and Underworld the same, and then the second one you're going to use to make those guys Brotherhood as well. And that is very important when we get to the locations, because in the locations we have 4 Avalon Space Station, which allows you to get back cards from your graveyard. If you discard a Brotherhood card, you can get 2 character cards back from your KO pile, which is absolutely brilliant. And then on top of that, you got 4 Lost Cities, which allows you to, whenever you power up basically your Brotherhood characters, they get +3/+3 instead of +1/+1, which is just absolutely huge. Obviously, if you have Centurious in play, you can use any of your cost 2 or cost 1 characters. Just keep pumping whoever you're attacking with, probably Mephisto, and then you can +1 attacking with all the creatures in the graveyard as well, and just completely OP your opponent. And this is one of the things that made this deck so popular, is that it's just it can be devastating if your opponent doesn't really know what to do against it. So back to plot twists, then we got 3 Wild Rise, which allows you to search for a Marvel Knights character in your deck, and you lose life equal to its casting cost, which is pretty good because you can have a Wild Ride, you can search for a dagger, you pay 1 life, and then you can get your Midnight Suns, or just have a body on the field in the first turn if that's what you want. But it's very flexible. You can basically use this card once you have your first Midnight Suns out to search for anything, any character in your deck, depending whatever you need. It is definitely a must-have in this deck. Not a 4 of, a 3 of is enough. You can potentially have 4 of. I mean, the only backside is that, you know, if you search for a beefy guy, you're going to lose quite a lot of life of that, which you don't necessarily want. And then 3, Wake the Dead, just to complement your wild ride. So Wake the Dead allows you to search for search for an underground character that's in either in your graveyard or in play. Really good because you don't lose life, unlike with Wild Ride, and it still lets you search. So if you discarded a dagger to get one Midnight Suns, you can play Wake the Dead, search your deck for another dagger, get another Midnight Suns, just to get them out real quick on the field so you can utilize the effects of your locations. Again, you can play around. You can have 4 Wild Rides, maybe 2 Wake the Deads, or vice versa. I think 3-3 is a very good compromise, and most of the time it is just perfect for the deck. And then for evasion, we got 4 Mist Forms here, which basically allows you to avoid one of your underworld characters to be stunned. It also lets you draw a card. The backside is that you can't attack for the rest of the turn, but basically you declare an attack, and if your opponent reacts in some ways that your character would get stunned, you play Mist Form. You get off quite well because you draw a card, and then if your opponent can come if you had the initiative, and that's it. You've probably saved your creature with Mist Form, and then some counters here. I would like to have 2 Have a Blast, but I only have 1, so I thought that I will substitute the second one with a Not So Fast. Have a Blast, what Have a Blast does, it allows you to destroy a location or an ongoing plot twist on your opponent's field, and then your opponent replaces it with 1 card. And in the Golden Age, this was a really, really useful card, obviously. You had Kaboom and Foiled, which only done 1, and this one has, you can either destroy a location or an ongoing plot twist on 1 card. So very flexible. And Not So Fast basically allows you to negate a non-ongoing plot twist which has a threshold of 1 or less, which isn't much, but a lot of good plot twists have a turn cost of 1. So you got Flying Kick, that's turn cost of 1. Even just if you look in this deck, your Mist Form is turn cost of 1, your Wild Ride is 1, your Wake the Dead is 1. So there's many plot twists that this card can actually counter. So this is it. Marble Knights, Underground, Brotherhood, whatever you call it. I don't know the name of this deck really. If anybody knows the name of this deck, please leave a comment below because I really want to know. I'm not gonna lie, I actually net decked this deck, but it was a long time ago, and I was sort of slowly building up and just playing around with it. I think it's, even to the day, it's a solid deck. It doesn't hold its ground against my Deathpool deck, which I have reviewed I think earlier this year, sometime in springtime. I did play test them against each other, which is quite funny because yeah, the Deadpool Hunter deck just completely eaten this one alive. But it was good fun. It was good fun. So yeah, all right, let me know what you think. If you have any ideas how I could possibly improve this deck any further, you would like to know about it. I'm trying to sort of keep the old versus system community alive. I know that the new game seems to have good hype, and people say that it's pretty decent. It's a good game. I've not really had the money to buy into it yet. I don't know. It's not very expensive, but um, it's just one of those things, like you already have an X amount of collection in these old ones, so you just play around with what you got. But either way, yes, let me know what you think, how I could improve on this deck. You can like if you like the video. You can of course comment, which I always try to reply to, and subscribe if you like these sort of videos. I'm not mainstream. I'm not planning to be. I just do my own thing. I don't get any money off these videos either. I just keep it old school YouTube, how it should be. So yeah, thank you very much. Bus in here signing out. Peace out, YouTube.